Alright, welcome back guys, or welcome to your first time here. I'm Vision here with Blind Entertainment, bringing you guys another video. Today we're giving you guys another Walking Dead video, kind of giving my thoughts and opinions on Lauren Cohan and her show Whiskey Cavalier, and my thoughts on her potentially leaving the show, and along with some of my original just thoughts and opinions on her new show Whiskey Cavalier that'll be premiering I think sometime in the spring of 2019 on ABC. So if you're interested in that information, don't forget to subscribe down below and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any future videos on The Walking Dead moving forward. Now let's begin. So, for those of you who don't know, at the end of season 8, beginning of season 9, like the filming and stuff, Lauren Cohan, who plays Maggie on The Walking Dead, was trying to negotiate her contract for season 9. I guess her contract ran out at the end of season 8, so she's trying to negotiate, try to get more money, and AMC wasn't really budging on that, and Lauren Cohan kind of looked into doing some more pilot shows. And one of the shows she took interest in and now is going to be starring in is called Whiskey Cavalier. Like I said, going to be premiering, I think, in spring of 2019. Now, for those of you who don't know, they released the first trailer for Whiskey Cavalier on a week or two ago, I think. And I've seen it, and I'm going to give my honest opinion here. I don't know what Lauren Cohan was thinking, but this show, I'm going to say, at least for my taste, it looks like it's going to suck and it's going to be horrible. I don't know what she was thinking, but this looks god-awful. And I don't even know what it's about, to be honest. And I just, I'm just trying to figure out what was going on in her head that she decided to pick this show. Like, come on, there's so many other shows probably out there, other shows, and it's just like, this one, I can guarantee you, it's gonna be canceled probably by the end of the first season, if it's lucky enough to finish a first season. I'm honestly gonna say, like, sure, it may fit in with ABC's kind of networking stuff. I can probably see it being tagged right in there, like TGIT stuff with Grey's Anatomy and Station 19 and all that stuff that I don't care about. But honestly, I don't know. Like, I see this show, like, it's fine for like the regular channels, like ABC. I mean, for me, ABC, NBC, CBS, does their generic kind of cop shows. In my opinion, I think ABC's kind of the weaker end of shows. They just kind of do shows that I just don't care about. A few comedies, but other than that, I just don't care about the shows on there. NBC, I think, is hitting it out of the ballpark right now with some good shows. And CBS, in my opinion, in the middle. It has good ones and it has some ones that kind of tank. But ABC, in my opinion, probably puts out some of the worst content out there. I mean, sure, they have some good stuff. I think The Good Doctor is a good show. But other than that, I think most of their shows on there are pretty awful. And I just don't know what Lauren Cohan's thinking with this show. And right off the bat, I can see it's kind of aimed towards people who like the Grey's Anatomy stuff, like the Station 19 stuff, which is not my taste of shows. And it's not saying that it's bad. It's just that it's just not doesn't fit my taste of shows and what I'm interested in. I want to support Lauren Cohan. I want to support her career and her future projects. However, this show just doesn't fit my taste, and it's probably something I never spend time watching. I want to, but I just don't see myself doing it. But I think, for what it is, I think there's a good possibility it'll finish a season 1, maybe get a season 2, but if they're lucky. But I just don't see it. Like, I don't know what Lauren Cohan was thinking. Just watching the trailer, I just cringe watching it. It's just like, there's some, like, minutes of funniness, but, like, it's nothing after watching it, like, a second time. It's just like, that's just so stupid when you stop and think about it. It's just stupid humor that just is catering to people who just sit down and watch TV just to kind of escapism. Whereas I watch shows for escapism, and I think we all watch shows for escapism, but there's types of shows that we love and watch every week, like The Walking Dead. Then you got those shows that, if we miss an episode, that's okay, we'll catch up later. But I feel like this kind of Whiskey Cavalier is going to be that kind of show, where it's not like, oh my god. And first off, when I first heard the title Whiskey Cavalier, I'm thinking, what in the world? At first I thought, okay, maybe it's a kind of holder, like how they had Fear the Walking Dead titled Cobalt until it was officially named Fear the Walking Dead. But then it came out that it was actually going to be Whiskey Cavalier. And be honest with yourself, when you hear the name Whiskey Cavalier, it just sounds extremely stupid. Like, imagine going to work or school or sitting down with your friends and buddies and be like, hey, have you seen the latest episode of Whiskey Cavalier? It's just like, I almost laugh saying the title because it sounds so stupid. And look, if this your kind of show, you're excited about it, that's fine. I'm not trying to put you down or anything. I'm just saying, to me, this is how it comes off. Like, it comes off extremely stupid. And I just am very worried about what this show could potentially do for the future of The Walking Dead. Now, let's talk about this in regards to season 9 of The Walking Dead. Now, from recent reports, we've heard that Lauren Cohan, Maggie, will only be starring in 6 out of 8 episodes of the first half of season 9. And now, originally, I was thinking, okay, they probably just filmed up to that point or figured it out up to that point, and then they're going to go in to renegotiate the rest of her contract and figure out filming schedules of Whiskey Cavalier in the back half of season 9. However, after further investigation, it seems like for some reason, I don't totally understand this, but that she signed her season 9 contract only up until that point. And I guess that's what usual shows do, from what I can tell, is that when you sign up for the new season, and this is for all shows, not just The Walking Dead, you sign up for, I guess, the first half, and then move on and renegotiate, I guess, in the second half. Now, to me, I'm thinking this is crazy. Like, imagine, like, if, like, they write and do everything for Maggie in the first half of season 9, and it's left on a cliffhanger. And, like, Maggie's, like, potentially dead or something. Or, like, she's laying there with, like, a gunshot wound in her abdomen or something. Just say something like that. And then they go back in to negotiate season 9, the back half of season 9, and she's still not satisfied that AMC's not paying her. And they just kind of she just decides to go off and do Whiskey Cavalier, and they kind of do her stuff off camera and say, like, oh, she survived her bullet hole or she died off camera. I think that's extremely weak. Like, that's like writing a story and just, like, her story's not complete then. Like, yes, we know she could possibly die or she did survive, but it's off camera. It's so unfulfilling, and actually watching it play out. And I think it's such weak storytelling. Like, these shows, if this is true, and I assume it might be true from what I've heard from people, but these shows should sign their contracts for the entire season, not just the first half, not just the second half. They should do it the entire season. That way, like, we get a full, complete story with them. Because as we know, each season kind of, even though each half has its own kind of storyline in it, each character goes through their own journey within that season. And I just think this could potentially damage the world of The Walking Dead. And in my opinion, you can't kill off Maggie right now. Yes, you can kill off Maggie. But however, unlike Andrea, where she's essential to the comic story. Yes, Andrea was a big part of the comic storylines up until recently. You were still able to use a character like Michonne to fill the gap and have her take that role as kind of Rick's love interest, and yet Sasha taking on the role of the sniper. And then you got characters like Carl. Now, I know I will hate that Carl's dead, and I'm in the middle. I don't hate it. I don't love that he's dead. However, when it comes to Carl and his death, I have another video probably coming up probably not in a couple of weeks to a couple of months before the season 9, where I talk more in depth on this. But I think a good character to take over some of Carl's parts in the upcoming story arc is use Enid. I'll go into further depth, but I think you could easily use Enid as a character with Lydia, not as a love interest kind of, but just have it being friends. Have Enid and Lydia be friends. Have Enid teach her that what is going on with the Whisperers is bad. That's not how she's supposed to be treated. I think that's a great way to use the story and make people like Enid more. And I think that's a great thing to do. However, killing off Maggie, I feel like that's a huge misstep. Like, you can't kill off Maggie going into new beginning storylines. Like, in my opinion, killing off Maggie now would be like killing off Rick. Sure, you could have characters maybe like Jesus or Enid taking her place, but I don't know, it just doesn't feel as fulfilling as like seeing Maggie's storyline play out. And I'm gonna be honest, I stuck around with AMC and The Walking Dead. I've defended them through everything, through Andrea, through recently Carl, through the double death with the Negan cliffhanger. However, if Lauren Cohan leaves the show and Maggie has to be killed off because they won't negotiate and give her the money that she maybe wants or deserves, then I think that might be the straw that breaks the camel's back for me. Because I've supported them for all this, but I think this might be the straw that breaks the camel's back for me, or I might finally put my foot down and say, okay, AMC, you need to kind of reevaluate things. Like I said, killing Maggie now would be like killing Rick, in my opinion. But, you know, I think that there's definitely ways they can work around it. Just don't give us some kind of big cliffhanger ending at the mid-season finale, and just have her just maybe. If I had to write the first half going into the second half, I'd say that Gregory's poison attempts fail. She recovers, hangs Gregory in the mid-season finale, and then throughout the rest of the second half, maybe she's recovering from the poisoning or something like that. If I was writing the story, I would do something like that. But leave your thoughts and opinions on how you think they could write around Maggie in the second half of season 9 coming up. Finally, I just want to give my quick opinions on Lauren Cohan and her potentially leaving The Walking Dead and going over to Whiskey Cavalier. And I want to support Maggie. I really want to support Lauren Cohan and every other project, movie, TV show she does. However, part of me feels like she's doing this for more money and that AMC might be paying her the right amount and she just wants it. Because right around the time that all this started coming about was right around the time the whole Me Too movement with the whole, equal rights and equal payment for men and women came out. And I don't want to be political, but I don't know, something just is fishy about it. It feels like that might be a reason why this whole thing came out. But I'm not just going to go into that. Moving on, however, I feel like Lauren Cohan wanting to lead the show right after season 7 was bad. Season 8, I think, was okay. Not like a great season, but I think it picked up and definitely did a little better than season 7. But to leave after 2 seasons that were just average is like a baseball or a football player who plays for this all-star team. They're doing great season after season. Then 1, 2 seasons, 3 seasons come and their team tanks and they're like, okay, I'm done. I'm leaving the team. No, you don't leave the team just because you started losing a couple games or a couple seasons. No, you stick with it. If it wasn't for us, the fans, Lauren Cohan wouldn't be a household name. She wouldn't be able to take these big movie roles or be on Whiskey Cavalier. She'd still be a struggling up-and-coming actress. But because of us, the fans who supported her in The Walking Dead, she is this big household name. And back when she signed up for The Walking Dead, she knew how big Maggie would be and how big of a role she is in the comics. And to bail on it now, right after we made you this big famous person, just rubs me the wrong way and makes me kind of frustrated and not want to support Lauren Cohan. I know you might just be thinking I'm a jerk, I should support her, but no. She signed up for this role. She wouldn't be a household name without us, and she should I'm not saying like drag it out. Like if you're being bullied or in a harassing kind of environment on this show, then leave. But don't leave because you're not satisfied with the pay or not satisfied with your story right now. And I just feel like I'm really frustrated right now with Lauren Cohan, and I'm not sure how I feel about her in the future in other projects. But leave your thoughts and opinions on what she's doing in the comment section down below. Do you support her? Will you continue to support her? Or are you like me where you're kind of struggling to figure out how you feel about her potentially leaving the world of The Walking Dead? So, yeah, guys, those are my thoughts and opinions on Lauren Cohan potentially leaving the world of The Walking Dead, along with her new show, Whiskey Cavalier. If you like this video, give a big thumbs up and share. And don't forget to subscribe down below and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any future videos on The Walking Dead moving forward. This has been Vision here with Blind Entertainment, and I will see you next time.